Hi, I'm Starfish Girl. For those who are interested, I'm currently working on creating my own 150 level set of Chips Challenge levels. I have 66 levels completed, and I'm currently working on some partially completed levels and level ideas. But I need some new ideas because I feel like there needs to be some variety. I thought I would share with you some of the levels that I've already created, just so you can kind of get an idea of what I've done. And maybe I can get some feedback on some good level ideas. I seem to have a lot of big levels. I like the idea of small levels, and I have a few small levels, but it's hard for me to think about creating a good level or a tricky level in a small space. I just need some help on or hints on what some good ideas might be for some small levels, maybe, because a lot of mine are giant or they use the entire space, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like that, but I don't think you want giant level after giant level after giant level. It's kind of nice to have some simple things too sometimes thrown in there. You'll notice that I have a lot of ideas from the first Chips Challenge level set. This one, blobbed, is one of them. As you can tell, it comes from blobbed. That's where I got my ideas. I'm a little obsessed with using the hint button in a lot of levels, so I kind of went away from that in some levels. I kind of stopped that for a while, but you'll see that in a lot of the beginning levels. Also, I do like making tricky levels and levels that you have to do 100 times before going to the exit sometimes, or that are just really long and tedious and annoying. But I do have some easier ones than that too that are just plain fun. There's some levels that after making them, trying to complete them myself took a really long time, and I will show you one of them. It's just really funny. You get almost to the end and then you kill yourself and you just get so frustrated. So but that's fun because some of those levels are the ones you remember the most. I also got level ideas from CCLP2, a number of game type ideas from CCLP3, and other homemade sets that other people have created that that I'm a big fan of. I got some ideas from those too as well, and those are ideas that I never would have thought of on my own. I just need some more because I feel that my levels are getting stale. So this one would be titled Blobbed, so appropriately named after blobbed. Obviously the trick is to not kill yourself. As you can see, you have to wait for the blobs and kill yourself again. Get all the chips and avoid the blobs and go to the exit. And let's see if I can do this. To open up as much area as possible and not pay any attention and kill me and trying to escape. That's basically it. I mean, you can another level that I created, which is kind of fun, which is my official level in my set, if you will. It's more reminiscent of of an official Chips Challenge level, kind of, because I didn't go this way before. You can see that there is fire above you, so it's not totally blind. I didn't think of that, but it depends on which way you go through the teleport. It can be blind, but you get the idea. It's a fun level. It's just you kind of go around and pick up stuff and just get chips. And there's certain rooms you can only go in once, like once you've gotten the chips and you go through the teleport. I'm standing on a hint block, so obviously you can get back through this room, but only from this direction. So there's certain directions that you can only get to once, so it's a good idea to get the stuff inside of those later. The levels, now there's some there's some hidden walls and a bunch of stuff. You just basically get the idea. So let's see, another one that is really fun is level 18, World of Exits, kind of inspired by Where's Waldo. You get the idea. There's a lot of the same. You gotta find the real one. Basically, you don't even need all the chips that are left. You just keep going until you find the real exit. So all you have to do is know what the real exit looks like, and you're golden. You can beat the level and move on. It's just a simple one. It does get a little dizzy for me at times. I have trouble with this level just because of the blue. It makes me dizzy staring at it all, so I can't really do this level, but it's relatively simple. This would be one of my most favorite random level ideas. It basically, I just sat there and randomly selected items in the level editor and randomly placed them around the room. Although it looks to be just a random level, Bits and Pieces is actually inspired by a level in the first Chips challenge, which is 99 Catacombs. It was just a really cool level, and so that's what inspired this. And it's a totally different level, but yeah, it gives you that same kind of feeling. It's a really fun level. It involves a lot of randomness, and sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of randomness, but it is rather fun trying to get through a level that's different every time without dying, like I did there. See, it changes depending on where the random things in the level end up, like the blobs and the walkers and stuff. They have a lot to do with whether you make it out of this level alive. Basically, you just go around collecting chips and items and I seem to have screwed myself. But basically, you just go around and try to get all the chips and not get killed. There's a lot of randomness to this, like there. Yeah, I'm dead because there's a solid wall there which is hidden, so that has a lot to do with things too, whether you make it out alive or not. There's hidden walls and invisible walls and keys and thieves and you name it. I threw it in here. Oops. Basically, it's just really fun. So you have to collect all the chips and then make it to the exit. It's just fun. It's a bad optimization level, but it's a fun level to just fool around with. Another level that I created, which was inspired by the first Chips challenge, was this one, Writer's Cramp. You know the level it was inspired by. Basically, it's a block pushing Sokoban. You have to don't go up and kill yourself. Basically, push all the blocks and try to get all the chips in the proper order and use them all and make it out alive and get to the exit. So that's another really fun level. It's a smaller one. It does take use of the entire space given the outside blocks, but the main area that you have to do it in is contained in a smaller space, which makes it more fun. The next level that I'm going to show you is Monsters Gate. This is a tricky boosting level that took me a long time to complete once I had created the level. But before it took me a long time to complete, it took me a while to create because I had to get the monsters lined up just right, specifically so that the parameciums and the bugs would spin in the proper direction around the ice and not go the wrong way and screw with all the other monsters spinning around and basically send the teeth after you. And I just died, but you get the idea. You have to get all the chips, get to the exit. I created a second harder version of this one, which is fun too. And once you get it, it's relatively easy to beat. It's just getting it in the first place that is a little tough. Also, level 40 is one of my favorite levels that I created, involving inspiration from the first Chips challenge. This one, I got the inspiration from a fleeting memory in CCLP2, which was reminiscent of memory in the first Chips challenge. I thought it would be cool to get some ideas to take random level elements, put them together and to form one level, which is really fun. you have to kind of figure out what you're doing and figure out where you're going and trap yourself, and basically it's just really fun. You can see some new elements to the level. You'll find out why it's called tanks for the memories, because you need basically tanks in order to help you out of the level to make it to the exit. But in order to use the tanks, you have to travel through a lot of famous level sections. I don't need to name them. You can kind of see what they are right here. Detestable to chaos being where the exit lies. You can see slow-mo, death chamber, shrinking, blob dance. You can't see it, but refraction is there. Lock block, you get the idea. There's a lot of cool parts to this level, and you just kind of try it out and have fun. I think it's fun. I did create a second one of those, which is my favorite of the two. The second one is I like much better than this one, but I do love the level parts that are in it. And also, this was an inspiration from a lot of the game levels in CCLP3. Clearly, you don't need me to tell you what inspired this. I mean, Frogger, hello, but you get the idea. You kind of have to travel, kind of have to get the stuff. Only in this, you have to travel back through it, get the next item, send back and forth, and wow, this is going much better than I anticipated. You get the idea. That's really fun, and that's another one that takes advantage of semi-small space. Also, level 70 is another inspiration level from a game that I absolutely love. I'm not going to say it. For those of you who have played the game before already know what it's reminiscent of. I mean, this opening scene here is totally obvious what the game is that I'm playing, but I just thought it was really cool. I happened to be playing this game, and I was in the height of creating a level in Chip's Challenge when I got the idea to put the two together, and wham, I created the trickiest level for me. I think it was one of the trickiest of my own creations for me to actually beat, just in trying to figure out the maze part itself. As you can see, you're about to enter a maze with a lot of keys, and it's a tricky, you have to do it. If you don't do it, and there's more than one way to beat the maze, but if you don't beat it in certain ways, you'll screw yourself and have to start all over again when you get to the ending. So you have to kind of be careful. It's way too confusing for you to be able to easily figure out, oh, I'm not going to kill myself by going in this direction. And it's easy to get lost in the maze too, but that's another fun level. And finally, the last level, 150, that I thought would be a fun way to end it, is basically a dirt level. I don't have a ton of dirt levels in the set, but basically I just filled the level with dirt, took some floor tiles and created tetris shapes, added some chips and bugs to the shapes, and basically gave a challenge for you to have to get all the chips, not get killed by the bugs, and make it out alive. There are some tricky ones that are in small, tight spaces that basically. Thanks for watching, if you do, and thanks for the level ideas, if you have any. And see ya.